Hi, namaste. Thank you for joining me this Monday for Yin Yoga. We're still not aligned with the moon. It's supposed to be Monday, Moon Day Yin Yoga, but the new moon is on Friday, so this isn't quite the new moon. Although when the new moon does arrive, just remember to harness that energy of great potentiality, put it out there, what it is that you need and want from the world, while also acknowledging gratitude for what you already have. So in today's practice, I thought it would be a great idea to just do a lot of deep stretching together and hold them for a long time. The beauty of yin is the ability to really go within, so you don't need to hear so much from me. If you're craving listening to yoga words and philosophy, I invite you to check out my Sunday sadhanas that are also here, published on YouTube. And so I'm just going to read a little bit from this Patanjali's Yoga Sutra translation by my mentor, Dr. Paul Douglas. And then we're going to stretch, and like the last few times, I'm going to leave you to go to your Shavasana alone. It doesn't mean you should skip it. It's a really important part of the practice. So make sure you build in 15 minutes at the end to just sink deeply and get that beautiful Shavasana, and ideally meditate afterwards. The only reason I've snipped it from the practice is when I'm not doing a live class via Classroom, like actual live or live on YouTube stream. It just takes up a lot of room on my phone to have 20 extra minutes of me basically just sitting there holding space and being there for you. So when we finish, you'll go and do Shavasana on your own. So while I read this beginning part, just choose your favorite position, and let's begin stretching, even as we're just listening to some Patanjali. Oh, it feels so great. And you know what? I'll just instruct, if you'd like to join me in my position. I'm here in easy pose, Sukhadya, but I've got my non-habitual leg in front, and so that helps you get a nice stretch. So you just lean forward, belly towards the floor, and here we go. So basically, there's a book that yoga students and yoga teachers read from, and disciples of yoga all over the world for thousands of years. And the book is a collection of books called the Yoga Sutras by Patanjali. And so this is a new paradigm for understanding the Yoga Sutras, written by Dr. Paul Douglas. And I love this. He says, with a context for understanding the level of human growth and evolution attained by Patanjali, it's easy to see what he may have taken for granted. His students were likely very advanced, and therefore he could skip a lot of details. Without context, it's like handing someone a map and pointing to what looks like a river and some mountains. You'd be confused if you didn't have the context of the map or the place it represented. Suppose the location is Russia. Without context, you'd be lost with or without the map. And so it is with the Yoga Sutras. Patanjali gives us a map of life. He gives us precious wisdom and the proper keys and a proper understanding of human evolution and inner growth. And we can understand how amazing his exposition is. What is needed, and what we will start with in this book, is an explanation of how human growth works. With this, we can understand the level from which Patanjali speaks. By understanding this higher level of consciousness, his very concise set of sayings give us an exquisite map of inner growth and development. I feel like I'm going to stop there. Let's just get into it. Let's get into the stretches. And this book is available if you'd like to purchase it. Or if you just want to hear more, just let me know. Email me, text me, make a comment here in the comment section. From your easy pose with your non-habitual leg in front, see if you can get even closer, even deeper into your edge. And as you breathe, begin to settle into your practice. Begin to let go of the day, the week, the month, the year, a decade, a lifetime. Use your inhalation to create space and use your exhalation to let go of what's no longer working. And after your next exhalation, bring yourself back up to a seat and switch your legs so that now maybe the habitual leg is in front, or whichever leg wasn't in front last time will now be the front leg, the front man. Lean forward, find your edge. Know that your body is different than my body. Your edge is going to look different than my edge. Some people can fold flat on the floor and get their bellies all the way down right at the beginning. Some people have a really hard time unhinging those hips at all. And neither is right or wrong or better or worse. It's just where you are. It's what you've been through in your life. It's the injuries and the conditioned tendencies that you've culminated. With this stretch and with all the stretches, feel what you feel and let that be your meditation. Let that be your focus. Try to stay. The components of yin are coming to an edge, holding the pose for a long time, and staying. So just stay with what is, stay with what you feel. And as you get comfortable, lean a little closer and get yourself uncomfortable. Stay here for 3 deep breaths. After your third breath, begin to lift yourself from your core. Use your hands to help you out. But just get a sense of using your lower back and your belly to do most of the work. Let's see what's next. I think from here we're going to bring the bottoms of the feet together. Supta Baddha Konasana. Sorry, Baddha Konasana. Supta is when we're laying down. We're just going to do it sitting up. Look how dirty my feet are. I've been outside, barefoot. I hope you have too. So bringing the bottoms of your feet together, grasp the tops of your feet in your hands. Notice if there's a difference in temperature in your hands and feet. Just focus in on details like that. Noticing the texture, the temperature, the feelings that you feel. Try to get out of your eyes, even close your eyes if you can. There's such an overworked sense, overworked organs. Notice what you hear, notice what you feel, smell and taste. And really begin to drop in. You established your breath for the practice in the last pose. Now really begin to go inward. Let this be your time. Notice what you feel in your outer legs and your hips. If your ankles are feeling uncomfortable, put some padding underneath you. We never want the bones to suffer. We want the discomfort to remain in the fascia or in the muscular tissue. We're going to stay here at your max edge. So if you have any room, even a millimeter more, see if you can bring your belly a little bit closer to the floor. And then you can allow your head to drop down. Let's stay here for 2 minutes, just hanging out with the sensation that is. Softening the eyes, softening the jaw, soften the shoulders and the glutes. Breathe into your expansion, your reflection. Don't get caught in your thinking mind. Just stay here now with what is in your witness body. Five more full breaths into your belly, into alignment with where you want to be, mentally, physically, spiritually. It's all possible. After your fifth breath, see if you can raise up with your core. Give your feet a little squeeze. Thank them for all that they do. If it feels good and if you want to, you can press down one knee at a time. Get one last edge. And then use your hands to pull your knees together. And let's come into a twist by finding ourselves in deer pose. So I've got my right leg folded in front, the left leg is pointing behind. Inhale, let your spine be long. Exhale, as you twist, that left hand comes over the right knee and the gaze goes over your right shoulder. Three deep breaths. Return to center and let your right ear come toward your right shoulder. Don't let your shoulder come up to meet your ear. Just let your ear come down to meet your shoulder. At the same time, take your left hand and just trace and feel your sternocleidomastoid muscle, all the musculature, your upper traps, and just kind of trace a line, encouraging those muscles to let go and open as we work with the fascia on this side. Place your hand on your shoulder and reach your fingertips down, just encouraging the head to come a little bit closer to that right shoulder. Breathe 2 more times. Let your second sigh be audible. And again, deep breath in, audible breath out. Remember, if you can hear yourself breathing, then you can hear yourself letting go of that which you no longer need. I wish you could see, but off camera I've got a lovely orange tabby and a giant gray tabby. Here he comes, joining in the practice. Oh, beautiful. So now with the left foot in front, left leg in front, let's come into deer pose again and we'll twist it up. So inhale, get long. Exhale, take the right hand over to the left knee. Take your gaze over your left shoulder as you deeply twist your spine and give your internal organs a hug. Notice what you notice. Notice where you feel it. If your body needs something, give it. Give it what it needs. Lean into what you feel. 2 more breaths. And after your next breath, unwinds back to the center, and this time we'll take the left ear toward the left shoulder. Let your right hand come up and trace the right side of your neck. Just encouraging these nice elongated movements. And then extend the right hand so it's pointing away from the body. Make sure that your left shoulder is coming down. My shoulder keeps trying to come up to meet my ear. Let your left ear come down to meet the shoulder as much as it can. Open and lengthen in that right side neck. Breathe as deeply as you can and give yourself permission to make noise. One more breath. And then we'll come back to a neutral, and let's do one more big audible breath. Inhalation. Breathing out. What else? Let's come into a caterpillar pose. So, Dandasana, sit up straight. Let your legs extend fully. Fold your feet so that your toes are pointing towards the sky or the ceiling. Reach up with your arms toward the ceiling. Get some length in the side body. Breathe in deeply. And as you exhale, slowly, slowly, slowly fold forward. Fold from the hips, not from the shoulders. And you can get a nice hamstring stretch if you have tight hamstrings, and if you have the capability of folding at the waist. The point of this pose when we are in a yin class is actually not the hamstring stretch, but the lower back curving. So if you find that this is all you've got as far as hamstrings go, and you really want to fold forward, that's natural and beautiful. What you want to do is get a big rolled up blanket or a pillow, bend those knees, and then fold forward from the hips. And then you'll notice you get quite a nice lower back opening. The point of this pose, if you're not stretching your hamstrings, is actually to nourish the adrenals and kidneys by bringing a fresh blood supply. All of our forward folds do this. Inhale, and every time you exhale, see if you can get a little bit further into your edge. A little bit further into your deep expansion and opening. And if you are flexy, if you're able to fold and hinge and get your belly close to your thighs, see what it feels like to reach down for the bottoms of your feet. And if that's not enough for you, you can put a block or a book, a dictionary at the bottom of your feet and hold on to the edge of that. But let's hold this folded forward in caterpillar for another 1.5 minutes, which is about 7 full deep breaths. 2 more deep breaths. After your second breath, very slowly let yourself lift, 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 lift. And as you come into a complete seat, we're actually going to take the right foot and bring it into the left thigh. And we're going to fold forward again. It's the same exact position, but sometimes doing half caterpillar can get a little different opening than doing full caterpillar. So again, arms up. Inhale as you lift towards the sky, and exhale as you fold forward. And notice what's different when there's just one leg. What's available to you that wasn't before, or maybe it's the exact same. But let's hold this here for maybe 5 more full breaths. Notice what you notice. And after your 5th breath, use your hands to walk back up your leg. Extend both legs, and let's just windshield wiper the feet for a minute. That kind of opens up the hips. And then we'll do the same with the opposite leg. So this time we are folding the left foot into that right leg, into the right thigh, and we'll fold forward, so lift those arms. Reach toward the ceiling with your inhalation, and as you exhale, slowly fold forward. Baby. 4 more full breaths. After your 4th breath, begin to slowly sit up. Let's come into, we're going to do pyramid and swan, and then recline twist, and I think that'll be a full practice. So let's move into pyramid first, and then we'll come down into swan. So remember, pyramid in a yin sense is a little different than when we do it in a yang practice. It's really just going to be about the front leg. So the back leg isn't that important. It's important, but it doesn't need to do anything special. So place your right foot in between your right and left hand and fold forward so that your belly is as close to your right thigh as you can get it. That left leg can be straight, or it can bend, or it can do any number of things, whatever you feel like. You really want to have to focus on this right leg. Use your breath. Feel that delicious edge, both behind and in front of the right leg. Use blocks if you don't have super long arms. Let's hold here for 3 more full breaths. deep breath. Let's come out of it by bending the right knee, lifting to a stand, and if it feels good, I'm going to take my right palm and lift towards the ceiling and come into a reversed warrior, a humble warrior. And then we'll switch legs. So this time, the left leg is going to be the straight leg, and this right back leg can do whatevs. So we're bringing bring your left leg straight and flat on the floor in between your hands. Oh my. I'm going to find the right angle for this. There we go. Bring your belly down towards your thigh. Hello. It's a 3 kitty practice, darling. Breathe fully and notice what you notice. 3 more full breaths. After your 3rd breath, bend that left knee. If it feels good to do so, you can again take Humble Warrior by lifting the left palm up toward the sky, arching the low back, looking over and behind you. And then let's return down to the mat. We're gonna come into Swan Pose. Yeah, we have plenty of time. We're gonna come into Swan Pose, so let's just keep that left leg in front. And Swan is pigeon, except it's done in a yin way, so we're just gonna be really focused on opening the hip flexors of the right leg at the same time finding a really nice edge here in this left leg. So take your time just being in Swan without laying down, and then we will come into a relaxed Swan where you fold forward. Sleeping Swan, I should say, that it's not relaxed. This pose has a lot of sensation for me. Just notice what you notice in your body. Don't push yourself too far into pain, numbness, or tingling, but stay at a place where you are at an edge and you've got a sense of discomfort that you can work with and work through. And remember, if you can be uncomfortable on the mat, then it lets you be uncomfortable off the mat, knowing that it will pass. If you can come all the way down into the ground, do so. You may already be there. Let's stay here for 5 more full breaths with your own wisdom. Notice if you're fighting yourself as you're trying to relax. Sometimes I can track myself holding tight when I'm trying to let go. And then if I can just target that area that's being really tense, I can kind of get inside it with my breath and release. Try that. One more breath. And after your next breath, use your arms, use your core, bring yourself up. And then let's switch legs, bringing the right leg in front, and the left leg will go back in our swan pose this time. So if you have great flexibility in your outer hips, then the shin of the leg that you're having in front will be parallel with your mat. I don't have that shape of legs, so that's not a flexibility that everyone can work toward. It would literally break my legs to try to have that position. So again, just like honor what your body looks like and what your body does. My body literally can't bend that way. That's the bootleg curse. Start to settle into this other side, this right side. Notice what you notice, if there's anything different, if it's the same. Just notice. Use your own wisdom and intuition to come down onto forearms and forehead when it feels like time. We'll stay here for another 1.5 minutes with your own breath and wisdom. Four more full breaths. After your fourth breath, begin to lift. Use your hands, use your core. Come on up briefly onto your bottom, and then we're going to lay down. So you're going to lay down with both feet on the floor, hands, palms facing up, and give yourself some nice deep breaths. 2 more audible sighs. Rock your hips and legs back and forth if it feels good. With both feet on the floor, let your knees stick together as they both come over onto the right side of your body. Open your arms like a cactus. If it feels good to take eagle legs, you can do that. Take your gaze over the left shoulder. Just breathe into the twist. Breathe into all the sensations that you feel in all the various parts of your body. Try to escape the narrative of your mind and just be with your breath and your sensation. Notice if you're holding anywhere. Soften behind your eyes, soften your jaw, soften your shoulders and glutes. Soften mentally, emotionally. Let your heart open, let your chest spread open. With your beautiful cactus arms like Sedona. One more breath here. And after your breath, bring your feet back together. And then shift your hips over to the right so that your legs can drop down, your knees drop down into the left side of your mat. The arms stay in a cactus shape. This time your gaze goes over the right shoulder. And breathe into the new sensations on this side. Notice what's different. Take eagle legs if that's what feels good. I misspoke slightly. I did see lots of cacti in Sedona, but they were very different, little succulent looking cactus. But in Phoenix, as we got closer and closer to Phoenix, then they had little arms poking up, like the position we're taking now. Breathe into that sensation. Notice what you're cultivating internally for yourself. See if you can dip into that peace all throughout your day. Four more full breaths. And after your fourth breath, bring your feet back onto the mat. Line your pelvis up into the center. You can stretch your feet out and begin your Shavasana. Give yourself a solid 11 to 15 minutes here. If you're afraid that you're going to fall asleep, set an alarm. Thank you for being here with me, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Namaste.